Hey everybody. Alright, I've got another cool video for you guys. This one's actually going to be about subtractive and additive motion. Alright, what is subtractive and additive motion? Sounds very mystical. Let me show it real quick. Okay, so we've got a rig here, and let's say I've got a critique where someone looks at this animation and they say, "Oh my God, way too much motion on there. He's just breathing too heavy." That's great for when you first come out of combat, but terrible for an idle. Just too much motion. And I say, "Oh my God, I got to go in and I've got to edit all of these curves." Oh my God, no, that's no. God, I'm being dramatic, but you get the idea. That's a lot of data to have to edit, and I'm lazy, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna work smart here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set keys on the first frame here, because this trick requires that at least one of your frames have keys on everything that you edit. And then I'm gonna create another layer. Actually two, just to play it safe, because I don't want to be destructive on this. So I've got base on layer 1 and layer 2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select everything on the base, I'm gonna copy it. I'm going to go back to frame 0 and I'm going to paste it and watch him explode. Boom, I just blew him up. No fret, it's just it's a simple issue of it being an additive layer when it should be an override. So I'm going to go to layer mode and set it to override. It's a little off the recording screen, but you're going to have to trust I did that. I'm going to go to layer 2 and I'm going to paste it in there as well. And I'm also going to set that one layer mode override. So essentially I have a base animation layer and two identical override layers on top of it. The reason I put two layers on top of it is because I don't want to destroy my base layer. So now I'm going to go into my anim layer 1 and I'm going to delete everything but the starting pose. And now when I press play, he's playing at 100%. Now here's 50% of the motion. Now here's 0% of the motion. So I can call my buddy over that gave me the critique, and I could say, "Dude, man, how much motion do you want here? We can go all the way back to where we were, or we could drop it down to looks like 41%. And I could work with them over the shoulder, just moving this slider around until we both feel it's right. And then when I like it, I just grab all my layers. I merge layers with the select option, hit automatic, and I merge. And now I've got that much motion. So I didn't have to edit all those keys. Really, really easy way to work. But let's say the opposite thing happens. Let me open up the file again. Let's say someone looks at this animation and they're like, "Rick, man, that's just not enough motion for an idle. I really want to see way more than that. That's just not there." So using a very similar technique, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 3 layers this time. And I'm going to set them all to override. So he's going to melt into a puddle of goo temporarily. Override and layer mode override. I'm going to go back here. And I could turn these off real quick so you don't have to see him in as a puddle of goo. I'm going to go back to his base layer and I'm going to set keys there and I'm going to copy all of his keys. And then I'm going to turn these back on. And I'm actually just going to paste his animation onto all 3 of these layers. Paste. And paste. Cool. So now for layer 1 and layer 2, I actually don't need anything but his starting pose. So layer 1, layer 2. So now layer 3 is over the pose again. So if I was to reduce layer 3, it's like I'm doing that thing I was doing before where I reduced the motion. But in this case, I want to double the motion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take layer 2 and layer 3, and I'm going to merge the layers using additive. Okay, let's merge. So now the reason I have 3 layers above the base is because now I've got this additive layer that has all of my additive information on top of my base pose. and I'm not destructing my base layer. So now that motion that you see here is all additive motion relative to the pose. So I can duplicate that. So duplicate the layer. So now I've got twice as much motion on my character. And now I can scale this down to get, you know, the 100% of the motion, the 200% of the motion, 150% of the motion. You get the idea. Let's say that something in here doesn't look right to me, like the tail, for example, just really didn't solve well in this whole thing. So I'm just going to go ahead, grab that tail, and I'm going to remove it from this second layer. So now I have 200% of the motion on the rest of the body and 100% of the motion on the tail. You notice there's a little bit of arm popping here, somewhere around this bit of time frame. That's an easy solve too, because I could just create another layer, set keys where it looks good, find out where it doesn't, and just move it up. Okay. Now we've got double the motion on the hands without all the IK popping that was there just a moment ago. So really cool way to work. I can now call my friend over and I can say, hey buddy, how much? How much? You know, we go 150 if we want, go 200 if we want. And again, it's an over-the-shoulder edit. Usually this works great with design, where design has a lot of feedback based on play testing it and trying it out. And designers love working like this because it gives them a lot of power, and it saves you a lot of time as an animator. One other cool trick I'm going to show you, because this was awesome. This comes in very handy, and idles are great to use this for, but you don't have to use it only on idles. So I was working on this cool animation on Friday. I'll show it to you real quick. Our little girl gets some sun in her eyes and jumps down, and you get a little hero shot at the end there. This is just a chunk of a much larger piece. But let's just say this end frame, I really need it to end, you know, somewhere around frame 134. So I need to shave off some time on this. So let's go ahead and select my rig, and I'm just going to, for this case, just for demo purposes, I'll destroy my base layer. So let me go to that frame, make sure I have rotate and translate keys set on that frame, and I'm going to copy everything. I'm going to set this layer to override. I'm going to go to frame 0 and I'm going to paste. And now we have two duplicate layers, but all I need here is the last frame. So I'm going to go ahead and delete everything but the last frame. And then I'm going to, let me show my rig because I don't have the rig visible. I'm actually just going to slide it back into place. So I'm going to see where, so let's say I'm going to end it around 135. So where is he standing at 135? Somewhere back here? Somewhere like that. Maybe over here. Okay. So I'm just going to set that key there. Now let's go to kind of where we want it to be on at 100%. So let's go to frame 120, and I'm going to key that on at 100%. And then I'm going to go to my new end frame, say frame 135, and I'm going to set it to 0%. Now, let's set 135. Let's watch the magic happen here. It's really that simple. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you guys have any tricks that you'd like to see, like if you've seen any work on my Vimeo page or whatnot that you were just wondering, man, how does he do blah, 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 feel free to send me a message on Vimeo or on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to do a future video on any questions you guys might have. Hopefully these videos have been helpful to everybody. And I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks. Bye.